Hey everyone, it's Rex with HomeRecordingStudioExpert.com. Thought I'd give you a quick walkthrough my home recording studio, just so you can kind of see what I'm playing with. Over on the left I got my 100-watt Marshall stack. I've had it for a lot of years. It's a master preamp control unit. It's the first one in Tulsa, as a matter of fact. Here I've got Event 2020 biamped monitors. I love these things. I actually have a set that's non-biamped sitting on my computer desk that I bought originally, and then when I got an opportunity to get the biamped ones, I got them, and I A/B compared them, and there's no question the biamped ones sound better. They isolate the highs and lows better. Down here's a piece of equipment that used to be mainstream for a little while. It's not as common nowadays, but this is the Layla 24-bit A to D converter. When we ordered it, they were offering the 20-bit, and I got the 24-bit when it came in. It's got a big cable and goes down to the PC, which is hiding here under the desk, and it's super quiet. The dynamic range on it is just tremendous. It's a great piece of machinery. Down here we've got just a home DVD player that I use for playing CDs and stuff like that in the control room. Down here is a pawn shop special. Here is Sony ADAT, sorry, not an ADAT, a DAT, and I think I picked that thing up for 25 bucks and got a couple of tapes, and have almost destroyed my hearing a couple times because I kept turning it up thinking it wasn't on, and then when the music comes on, bam, it's loud. That thing's fully digital, just quiet as it can be. In the middle here we've got the Mackie 16.8 console, 16 in, 8 out, quiet as it can be, controls out the yin yang. It's awesome. Certainly overkill for a home recording studio. In fact, you can start out without a mixdown console at all and do all the things mixing virtually in the software. Got a Korg M50 music workstation here. It's a way smart machine with controllability beyond belief, all the MIDI in and out stuff. It's just awesome, and I'm not really that good of a keyboard player, so it doesn't get used as much as it should. I would really like to learn some more keyboard. Up here we've got what I call the twin crap monitors. It's just a cheap flat panel and a high quality CRT model that used to be on my computer, my office computer. And they aren't matched or anything, but it's not really necessary. It'd be nice if they were, but again, that's one of the things that you can do is you can, when you got two computers, you can just rotate stuff around and get stuff for your home recording studio. And once you've had two monitors, I'm telling you, you won't want to go back to one. That's for sure. And then, like I say, I got my PC down here out of sight. It's a Hewlett-Packard Pentium model. It's plenty high powered enough for this machine, got a lot of storage on it, and it hasn't been a problem at all. Over here on the right we got the Chandler Tube Overdrive. They've updated them a number of times over the years, and cosmetically they're significantly different, but they still have the same controls, most of them, and it's kind of like getting your Marshall in a box without having to just got real tubes in it, and gives you good distortion without having to get out the big speaker boxes and all this stuff. And I have a lot of small guitar amps for that kind of situation if I want to, without having to blare out the 100-watt Marshall stack. Here we've got a Yamaha SPX 90, which I bought from a guy who had a big road tour company, and he had multiple semis and just stuff out the wazoo to take with big bands on the road and stuff. And he was a gun for hire and would show up with all this equipment, and amazing amounts of equipment, and he was moving stuff around, and I managed to pick up this SPX 90 from him, which does delays and all kinds of choruses and fun stuff, and they're real simple to use. And here's the Alesis Quadriverb 2. It does pretty much the same thing, overlaps with the SPX 90, although it has a a little more flexibility. It's a little more complicated to use, but it has this big display on it, and it's a lot of fun to play with too. Another one of my eBay finds. Here's a PV Profex 2 that I got originally when I was trying to get my guitar have a lot of effects for it, and it was just something to try. And I've got about a 30-foot cable over to a MIDI foot pedal, and it does okay for it was one of the first things I got, but its distortion's no good as far as I'm concerned. It does okay on reverb echoes and stuff like that, but these guys are better. And so all the way around, I'm not using this box anymore, but it's kind of cool nevertheless. Very fun to play with. Down here we have some vintage Tom Schultz Rockman stuff from the band Boston. You can definitely get the Boston sound with this stuff. We've got the Rockman Sustainer and the stereo chorus here. These things are starting to get pretty expensive on eBay, and of course you can't pick up this stuff new anymore. It's all vintage. There's a number of people who refurbish them and stuff like that. It's kind of cool to play with. Out of sight, we've got some things like Crown DC300 power amplifier, some homemade PA speakers. Over here on the right, you can't see, is a TAC 3440 reel-to-reel tape recorder. It was one of my first real abilities to get good recording, and I have a remote DBX unit for it and all. And got a ton of microphones and stands and all that stuff sitting around. Interesting story here about this desk here. Don't know how many of you will be familiar with it, but there's a fellow named Wayman Tisdale that is from the Tulsa area. He's the NBA basketball player, and he also plays jazz bass, easy listening jazz kind of thing. And he, when I worked at Lawrence Electronics, a fellow I worked for worked with Wayman on his recording studio in the evenings and things to help him get it going, and I helped this fella some, and so I got to go over and meet Wayman and all. And when Wayman was moving to California for his, he got a job as an easy listening, easy listening jazz show. They were clearing out the recording studio, and so I got this desk given to me. And since Wayman was well over 7 foot tall, and I'm 6'4", I'm a pretty tall fella, but I had to take this thing apart board by board and cut it down to make this thing fit. It's a pretty easy design of this thing, and it worked pretty good, but it was a little too deep for me. It had a big piece that came out here at the front, and I think that was because he had a Pro Tools Control 24 in his studio. Bless his heart, Wayman succumbed to cancer since then and is gone, but he was a hell of a guy, and I'm very proud to have gotten this desk from him. And great guy to know. And that's about it. I can talk about the software that I use for this on another video, but most of the time I use Cubase. I have other software that I can use as well, but most of the time I've been using the Cubase SX 2.0 just because that's what I got, and I've had it for a while. And but there's many other types of software that a lot of people use. I can't say that I've seen any that were all that bad. I like the Cubase really well. And they do take some time to get used to. There's no question you will have a learning curve with those. And we'll cover all of that kind of thing in separate videos. This is just kind of a quick walkthrough to give you an idea of what's going on in my home recording studio. And a lot of this is overkill, and there's more things that I need and haven't gotten yet. So over a period of time we'll talk about all those things too. So until then, we'll see you later.